Leanne and helping me tick over to episode 150 of the Triathlon Nutrition Academy podcast. Yeah! So Leanne is joining me today we're basically just going to pick her brain and learn from her experiences. She is an age group triathlete that has been doing triathlon for not 5, not 10, not 20, not even 25 years. She's been doing triathlon for 30 years. She did her first one when she was 17 years old, which is just crazy. So it makes her basically 21.
Thank you. That's about right by my calculations.
Yep. And in that time, she's done, again, not one, not a couple, not even 10. She's done 18 full distance events. 18 full distance events. Like, stupid a number of Ironmans and full distance triathlons. Countless 70.3s you've lost track. Marathons. You've been to Worlds 5 times, 3 at the Olympic distance, 1 duathlon and 1 long distance event. So, maybe she has a lesson or two that we could learn from. And hopefully we're going to hear some of that today.
Oh, you learn from your mistakes. I think that's a big lesson to learn.
Yeah, that's a great one. So thankfully, Leanne has decided that she's happy to share all of these things with us. She is a legend. She's very open and honest and loves to help and give everyone a leg up. So you did your first full distance event back in 2001 and your most recent one was Kona 2023. You've had a huge breadth of events in that time span. Your fastest was, 12 hours? Your longest day in the office was 16 and a half hours. And that was, a race in New Zealand back in 2023, just to qualify, just to, tick a box for Kona, and you raced with COVID. Jesus.
Yep.
One of them, I think you said you raced pregnant, even though you didn't know you were pregnant.
Yes, oops.
So
only
not,
very
not
little
all
bit
have gone
pregnant.
to plan.
No, it never goes to plan. I think it's only been like once or twice that it's all lined up in every situation. Like, it's not just the race, it's the injuries and the illnesses and family and everything. It's the day of the race is like, I'm here, there's nothing else I can do. It's actually quite nice to hear that gun go off and then there's nothing else that you can do. So yeah, it's definitely it's hard to get it all right if you want to have a good day.
Yeah, and you've got 3 kids now as well. So just fitting in the training for an event of that distance is hard enough, let alone, the logistics. I remember for you to actually get to Kona to do the race, the logistics of all the things you had to have lined up to have the kids looked after, the guinea pigs fed, make sure the library bag goes to school on the right day and swimming lessons are on this day, and all those logistics that go into being a full-time mum as well as trying to do full-distance racing. So what are some of the lessons that you've learnt over the last 30 years that are maybe some big ticket things that could help somebody maybe looking to prepare for their first full distance or looking to iron out some of the kinks of their full distance racing?
I would say, like, when you're starting out and you decide, I'm going to do this thing, you don't want to buy everything and have everything straight away because you don't know how you're going to like it or whatever. But definitely you need to get good advice from coaching and nutrition and just being consistent. Like, you might not be able to do exactly what's on the program because of various reasons. But if you just get out there and do what you can, then it's better than doing nothing. Like, it's easy to lose a few sessions or have a bad what you're eating for, on Monday or Tuesday, and then you're like, I'll just start again on the weekend or I'll start again on Monday. But no, you just have to salvage what you can. Like today, I couldn't go to the squad that I love going to, but I just went and did like 25 minutes and then I came home. So, and I feel like that's sort of ticked the box for the day, even though it wasn't a gold medal. It was like just a little tick. So positive, pos on, I say, pos on.
Pos on, that's great advice because we are very, high achieving people as triathletes and we feel like if we haven't done everything perfectly, we've failed. So really good advice to hear that, progress over perfection, right? Just get out there and do what you can and it's better than sitting on your butt doing nothing.
That's it. And also it helps to have a community, just finding people that are doing the same thing or roughly the same thing, or, you know, even sometimes like being in those silly Facebook groups about people who are training for that event, or there's a good one, Pathetic Triathletes, but they're starting to get a bit narky. But anyway, so just having a friend, like one of the things I like to do is convince people to come and do stupid things. So
is that why I'm doing this swim at Sunny Coast 70.3? It's all your fault, Leanne.
Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I love that. I love seeing people have a go. Yeah, it's cool.
So Leanne is the cyclist in our team, by the way, and she is the forerunner in this team event. She's like, come on, you can do it. So she's pulled me out of retirement to do this damn thing. Yeah. But we're still going to beat Kelly, aren't we, Leanne?
Yeah, we're going to try. Our runner is I think our runner's going to do it for us.
Yes.
Chris, she's very cute, but she's like deadly. Yeah.
Yes.
Go, Chris. Woo!
Don't poke the bear.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't spend a heap of money up front. Get out there and train whatever you can do. Any other hot tips you've got for us after doing 18 full distance races?
Yeah, just try to be really organised. That really helps. You know, you've got to make an appointment for yourself to, you know, do the training, prepare your meals, get your sleep even, just all those little things. And it helps not to just wake up in the morning and go, oh, you know, I've got all these things to do, I'll just slot them in wherever. But if you can do, you know, make the routine every week, you're going to do, you know, get your shopping list done on Saturday and order it on Saturday night, get the delivery and do all that stuff. I'm not saying I do that all the time, but that would be the ultimate. And also, yeah, just knowing what's coming, so that you don't just drop the ball from not having everything ready to go. Like, I know a lot of people are working and they've got kids, so, you know, I've got to have, you know, I might go out in the morning and not come back till night time, and in that time I've got, you know, swimming, I've got tuck shop, I do actually work, the kids have got this, I've got to be there to pick them up from the bus and all the things. So I just find I work a bit, I actually work better when there's a lot on, because if there's not a lot on, I'll just watch TV or do something like that instead of being, oh, I've got to be here, I've got to be there. So I think you're the same. We sort of thrive on that busyness in a way. Balanced.
It forces you to do the things, you know, you have short periods of time and you have to get something done, so there is no time to procrastinate, so you just do it.
Yep. I was sitting here waiting for you for 15 minutes and I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, I've got 15 minutes.
You should have eaten better recovery nutrition after your swim, Leanne.
I should have.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah, I was too scared to leave the desk. I didn't want to miss out.
FOMO. Massive FOMO.
Yes.
Okay, there's some really good tips there. And did you do all of your events with a coach training program, or did you coach yourself through any of them?
Yeah, well, I kind of just winged it till... So after I had the kids, I had about 6 years off, and then of course you start again and you think you can do what you did before, but you can't.
No.
So I thought, I've got to do this a bit more efficiently, and then of course Facebook worked out that I was looking for someone, and I went with Triathlon Coaching, who've been on the podcast a few times, and you've been on their podcast. So
yep, they're great friends of the podcast.
Yeah, yep. So that really helped me be consistent, because I did my first Ironman when I was in my 20s. I've actually done one Ironman in every age group, so I'm going to try to keep that up till the 80 plus age group.
Yes, that's a great goal.
So yeah, before they brought in the legacy program for the Ironman, which even if you can't qualify in your time, if you've done a certain amount of Ironman races, you can apply and go into it.
Yeah.
So before that came in, I thought, I'm going to have to qualify when I'm like 80 years old and everyone else has dropped out and I'm still going. But thankfully, the last CEO of Ironman brought in this thing. So yeah, so that was good. But I digress. Yeah, when I was younger doing the Ironman, I just sort of, everyone would do their long ride on Saturday and everyone would do their run on Sunday, and I just did the same training all the time. So there wasn't any kind of periodization or changes of intensity. It was just trying to be consistent with the same effort. And it got me through because of youth. But now youth is not on my side. We need science. We need lots of expensive things, and just to keep up. But yeah, I was winging it, and definitely winging it in the wrong way with nutrition. So I'm a allied health person, so I know a bit about health and science. But when I joined the Triathlon Nutrition Academy, I was just like, oh my God, what have I been doing? I've been doing it all wrong, and I could do better. Just not just in triathlon and training, but also in life. Yay!
Yeah, we only met at the end of 2022, so you'd been doing, like, I don't know how you survived 30 years of doing triathlon training to a big level. Without having any nutrition advice or nutrition support. So you did 16 full distance races without a race nutrition plan from
pretty much, a
professional in a way.
Like back in the day, they only had this thing called Lep and Squeezy. I don't know if you know that. That's the only carb. It was like the original gel, and it was like, like a Zupa Duper. It was in that sort of clear plastic thing, and it was absolutely disgusting. I don't even know how much carb or whatever was in it, but that was the only thing. And Gatorade and water and carb loading. I used to go the day before the race. I'll have 2 breakfasts, I'll have 2 lunches, and I'll have 2 dinners, and I just did that the day before. So that's not enough, don't we know?
You know that now. So
I do know.
Why did you decide then, after so long, to bite the bullet and go, all right, I'm actually going to invest some time and some finances into getting some nutrition support?
Well, I guess the same reason why I got the coaching support. I just needed to be like really sort of focused on what I was doing and efficient with my time, and just having the thought process sort of taken out of it in a way, even though we have learned to think for ourselves. Just having that education, it just makes it so much easier to know, I've done this training, this is what I need to eat now, this is what I'm doing tomorrow, so this is what I need to eat the night before. And I don't even really have to think about it now or worry about it, because I know I just automatically up what I'm going to eat a bit if I'm going to do this or that. And my friend actually sent me your program link quite a long time before I joined, and I was like, I ain't got no time for that. And then, I don't know, the universe just kept on hitting me with your face and your podcast, and I was like, right, it's a lot, but it's an investment, and I've got a lot more out of your program than having a bike that's worth that much more than what your program's worth. So lots of savings, yes.
How much does your bike cost, Leanne?
I think it was...
Don't tell your husband?
Yeah.
Is he not listening?
Well, when I went back after my hiatus with the kids, I turned up to my first Ironman, and I felt like I was riding like a little kid's bike. All the bikes are just the technology, all the things, everybody had all the stuff, and here's me. I did have a time trial bike, but it was like one of the OG ones, and I just was like, I think I need to get a new bike. And he was like, yeah, go on, probably because he's bought 5 surfboards in the meantime. So yeah, I was lucky enough to get a bike. But you got to ride it. I don't think it matters how expensive your bike is.
No, exactly.
I remember
you've got to turn that thing over.
That's it. And often you see people, and this is my little thing I say, all the gear, no idea, and just so you've got to walk the walk as well.
That's right. So we still didn't talk about how much a bike costs, but moving on. So in the last we're at about 2 years actually, almost to the day. What has changed with your nutrition in the last 2 years then?
I think just being aware of how much to have, and especially like on a training day, to get your body ready for that session, depending on what time of the day it is. And so often it's morning, of course. I don't want to give away your secrets, of course.
Don't do that.
Just having the adequate fuel to get all the systems going was a good one for me.
You're up early. Like you get up and get it done before the kids are awake type thing. So you've got early starts. What were you doing beforehand? Were you just getting up and training?
Yeah, just getting up and training. Probably would have, I don't know, have a coffee. I definitely wouldn't have a meal, like a breakfast or anything like that, and just get going, which, I don't know, it's okay sometimes to do that, but you've got to think of the big picture and what that's going to do for you and how you're going to recover. And it's all the little things add up. So if you kind of neglect that, you're not going to get the best out of yourself in the future. So, all the fads come and go with the fasting and the blah blah, but I think if your body needs fuel, and you can't get around that anyway, or no matter what system you're using, fat or carbs or fairy dust, it's all, your body needs it.
That's a good point, actually. You would have come full circle with the low carb, high fat thing like 20 or 30 years ago when it was sexy then, and it's come back around again. What other crazy things have you seen or have you dabbled with nutrition? You've done, when I first met you, actually, you were a quite low carb athlete.
Yeah, I was. I sort of followed another program. I signed up with a doctor, and this is going back before all the, the needles, the Ozempic and all that stuff came in. And so this person, full disclosure, I signed up for this. I wasn't coerced or anything, but he prescribed Ozempic. So saying that, we've completely blown this away now, but performance, like weight and performance, are not really related, at this level. And perhaps it is in marathon running or mountains, the cyclists and the tour, but not for just normal people. And so I signed up. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing, I'll do it. And of course I lost the weight. My weight went down. But of course I ended up, I was like a noodle, like I was light, but I wasn't strong. And I also got a bit unwell and that sort of thing. So I should have invested that money on that program, like going to the gym or, strength training. That would have given me much more benefit than losing body fat. So, I'm not poo-pooing anyone that wants to do that, but it was before it all took off, and it was sort of like, oh, this is what's going to happen. This is the edge of performance, but it hasn't gone that way. So I've read a little bit about it that they're doing it in cycling, but anyway, I'm just going back to the good old carbs. I love carbs. Yum.
Carbs are your friend.
Yeah.
When people start to realise that, the world will sort itself out, but they've just been, they're always like the devil, right? They're always the thing that as soon as somebody wants to drop some body fat, they're like, right, I'm cutting out carbs. It's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Let's be smarter than that. Like, let's not do this same shit that we've been doing forever. Actually be smart about the way that you fuel your body and what you actually put into it.
Yeah. And it naturally happens. Like, as soon as you start fueling your body properly, your body says, oh, it's okay to put on a bit of muscle here, and it just naturally drops. You don't have to do anything silly or crazy or, expensive. You just your body does its thing. If you're consistent and you're giving it good nutrients and fuel, it's pretty easy, really. I shouldn't say that, but I've had the change in body composition with the, the hormones and everything, and you just have to accept it and move on. Like, you just got to do what's good for your health, and if you're that way inclined for your performance. And body shape or body composition, often they are not performance, and that they're not, what do you call it?
Linked.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. Lighter doesn't mean faster.
No, that's it. So when I first got inspired to do the Ironman, I watched on the old VHS video the Ironman from like 1994 or something. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Look at those women. They're so strong and they all look like whippets. They were all tiny and skinny and lean. And then you fast forward to now and you look at athletes like Kat Matthews or Flora Duffy. Yeah. They're all strong, and it just seems to be much more healthy.
Did you see Flora Duffy in the Olympics?
I know. She was like strong.
I was
hoping
mass
for
on
it.
her.
I know. I was thinking to her, just hang back, just wait for the others, and then she just it's hard to know what to do.
Don't blow
what
up.
Would I do?
Yeah. No, don't blow your legs up. Just wait.
Yeah. Just wait.
That's
just
all
wait.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, she looks amazing. And if you I watched the triathlon and the Olympics with my sports dietitian hat on, and I was looking at their bottle set up on the bike and what they were doing and body composition. And you're right. We used to be skinny whippets, breaking all the time. Like, stress injuries was rife in the sport, and it's taking time to change that. But now it's more about being strong and having good muscle development and having that power and fatigue resistance, which is what we need to be good, robust triathletes.
That's it. Yeah, you've got to go all the way to the end. Yeah, that's where the strength comes in, holding your effort until the very end.
Yep. Every foot strike needs to be not fatiguing every time you put your foot down. The longer you can maintain your pace in the run, the better outcome you'll have on race day.
Mm-hmm.
So can we talk about Kona? It wasn't your ideal setup for Kona, and, you may still have PTSD because you had pneumonia going in, you had a foot injury, like you just had the worst lead up to an event probably ever in your whole 30-year history of triathlon. But you finally got there. You did your qualifying race with COVID, right?
Yeah.
We're on the back foot from the beginning.
Yeah.
But it was the first time that you went. And what did you do to prepare yourself for Kona? Because it is a different kettle of fish. It's very much a hot race. It's humid. We have those conditions here in Australia, but not in the months leading into the event. We go through winter. So what sort of things did you do differently to prepare for your very first Kona?
Yeah, well, I did actually sign up to a course about hot racing. So old science man Dan Plews has a platform, and one of the courses was how to prepare for heat, which was perfect for me. So all the science aside, it was basically just exposing yourself to heat, at certain times before the actual race, and acclimatizing at the place if you could possibly, which for age groupers usually not. I think I got there on the Monday and the race was on Saturday, so that was the best I could do.
Yep.
But I got in my laundry and I put on the heater, and I had planned to get the Thermomix going with all the steam, but I got quite unwell in that, essential time of heat prep. That I got a little, it's like a phone box, it's a sauna. I got a little sauna, and I was hanging out in there, and, there's lots of science that shows, how that changes your physiology temporarily, and that can help combat the effects of heat. But also when you're not in hot races, those changes also occur. So they're starting to use heat as an alternative to high altitude training, because it sort of has that same temporary effect on your physiology. So that's what I did, and I don't know if it helped me or not, but I come from a hot place originally. So it's kind of in my bones that when it's hot, it's not too bad for me. It's like I'm not from the heights of Norway. I'm from the desert in Mildura, Victoria. So it's very hot there, very flat. There's not a hill in sight. So the heat doesn't affect me too much. But yeah, I definitely tried to prepare around the illnesses and the injuries as well. So on the day, it wasn't too bad. I just came good on the day, I think. I just wasn't trained enough for it.
Oh, and you still did it, and you gave it a good nudge. You did, what, a 15-hour Ironman in Kona with not a lot of training.
Yeah. And from all my experience, I know that I can do it. Like, I've walked the whole marathon before and finished in time. Like, before the GPS watch, that was my thing. I just mentally work out, this is what time it is, this is how long I've got, this is how long, how fast I have to go or slow, and I'll make it. So I knew I was going to finish. I've never had a DNF in any race.
No.
Well, I think I did in Noosa one time because I started in the late wave and I had an injury, planned to walk the whole thing, and it was really hot, and I just thought, no, I'm going to go back and eat some watermelon. So I think that's my only DNF. So I just you pay all that money, you want to get the towel at the end.
Yeah. Do you not get that if you're DNF? You can't still walk through the finish chute and grab it?
Yeah, I don't think so. No, I wouldn't know.
I totally would. So would you recommend somebody lining up to do Kona to do some sort of heat training? Yeah,
definitely.
Educate yourself on that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. Like, if you've got one of those indoor trainers, just do it in the bathroom and don't turn on a fan, and that usually will get you hot enough. Yeah, like in the humidity, you can also simulate if you just boil your kettle, or you can even just hop into a hot bath after you've trained if you jump in there for 15 minutes or something. That all has been shown to change the physiology. So yeah, definitely do it. It doesn't really add anything to your training, time-wise. You can just, maybe half an hour after you've, you would have normally finished, you sit in the sauna or sit in the bath and you get all these benefits. So, there's definitely lots of protocols out there that you could probably get for free to do heat prep. Do it.
Yeah, we did an episode with Avish, the physiologist, on preparing for hot race. If you do want to dive into the archives on that one, he had some really good practical tips of all the different types of things that you could try and implement. Because you're right, getting to the race environment early is your best bet. But if you've got, a full-time job, you've got family, the cost of being away from home and ACOM and all those types of things all add up really quickly when you're an age group triathlete. So there's always something that you can do. So do you want to go back and do Kona? Do you want to give it a nudge, try and get all your ducks in a row and go and do it again? Yeah? Yeah,
I would like to. It is really expensive. Just the race entry is a lot. And then the accommodation, of course, when it's in demand, you've got to pay the top dollar. That would be the limiting thing for me, I think. But so with it being alternating men and women now, it's a lot easier for women to qualify for that. So I think that I could get into it again for next year. I am going to do Ironman WA this year. I haven't told you that, but I am.
No, you haven't. Okay. Heard it here first, people.
So I'm mainly going to support a friend who's doing it for the first time. So, it's good to keep the ball rolling, and I've got some bigger goals for next year. So it's good to have a little stepping stone to get to that. Otherwise, I'll just sit on the couch and watch the Olympics. So I'll see if I qualify on the Ironman WA. I'll have a little crunch the numbers before I go, make sure I've got the money on my credit card just in case. So yeah, I would really like to. I'd like, it is a long day for kids to come and watch something like that, but my kids are getting older now, and it would be good for them to see me actually finish. Normally they're in bed because I finish, like the ones that I've done have been a big struggle, and 16 hours and all that stuff. It would be fun to do that. And my husband's also into surfing, so we can kind of sell it with that
family holiday
on the side. Yeah. So, I think I definitely want to do it. I definitely want to try and get it much better than what I did last year, because, I'd been dreaming of it for 30 years pretty much, and then it was poo. So, yeah. Go again.
It wasn't poo. You still did an amazing effort on the day, considering everything that you had to deal with heading into that. So many people would have just pulled the pin. But you're an aggressive mongrel that you're like, nah, damn it, I paid my money, I'm going.
That's
Whether
it.
it's crap or not, I'm going.
I couldn't pull out, and I couldn't wait 2 more years. There was no way I was going to wait 2 more years. Oh, God, that would have killed me. So... I was invested. There was no going back.
Yeah, and you know what you're in for now. You know the things, everything that you need to do to prepare. You've done it before, not to the best of your ability, which is frustrating, but at least you know how to set up your nutrition, how to set up your heat acclimation, all of your training. Like you can do it. We just got to keep you from being so sick.
Yeah. I think if I just went and lived in a little bubble, it'd be much better.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. You got 3 little germ breeders.
Yeah. Oh, the germs. The germs are coming.
That bring everything home.
Yep.
Yes. So, what's next for you then, Lily? What's on the cards?
Well,
what's the grand plan other than Kona?
Yeah, other than Kona, I'm doing some running. I'm doing a trail run in Sydney. I just dropped back from 50 Ks to 30 Ks. That's not usually like me, but, just big picture and enjoyment. Like, I'm not fit enough to do 50, and I could do it, but it wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be nice. So I'm just going to drop back to the 30 and have a nice run around in nature. And I'm actually going to do... I've entered to Melbourne. Yeah. Just enjoy, there's nobody to annoy me. I can just be out having fun with my friends.
So hang on a second. So you signed up to this event so that you don't have to parent for multiple hours. Yeah. Just so we're clear.
That's the... The things I do for a day off, like do an Ironman.
Peace and quiet.
Yes, that's it. That's what I love. I'm doing that. I'm going to have a crack at the Melbourne Marathon. So the last time I ran a marathon was just a standalone marathon was in about 2006, maybe. I did the New York Marathon, which was really fun. But yeah, running a marathon, I reckon, is harder than doing an Ironman. So I'm looking forward to just having a go at running a marathon without all the BS before it.
Right.
I'm hoping...
Not many people would say that.
Yeah, I'm going to try and go for a PB, even though I got my marathon PB when I was about 25 or 26. I'm like 20 years older now. I reckon I can do it. I reckon I can give it a nudge. It's not that fast, but, 4 hours 11. 4:11 is my PB.
I reckon you could do it. Bit of carb loading, the right race nutrition.
Yeah, I can get under 2 hours in a half Ironman distance on that run. So I reckon if everything goes all right, I could get it.
Okay.
Then
good
I'm going to do...
Sounds good.
I'm going to do I'm going to do the ultimate race, the Sunny Coast 70.3 team challenge, throwing down the gauntlet. Going to beat all the incomers from the Triathlon Nutrition Academy. It's going to be the highlight of my year.
The Americans and Canadians, because we've been smack talking so much, we have to actually beat them now.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to that. That's sort of the thing, like the triathlon community is such a, cool place, and we've made lots of good friends all over the world. So, and we're going to get together.
Yep.
Woo! So
yeah, I'm
it's
looking
really
forward
special.
to meeting everyone in person at that event.
Yeah, and hopefully more to come. So yeah, it's a good thing to have a little bit of a social thing as well as just trying to beat everybody. Yeah, so that's
There's
good.
that too.
Yeah,
Have a good time while you beat them.
Yes, and then just be a good sport, but behind their back, just be like, yes.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
Well, I've been training for you, and it still hurts. I haven't swum for about 10 years, and yep, it still hurts, but I still hold that I can beat the Canadians and the Americans.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Just lay it all down on the day. Woo!
Yeah, funny. And are you going to be doing triathlon for another 30 plus years? Is that the goal? To be 80 something and still doing full distance racing?
I hope so. Like if I've got that goal of doing the one in every age group. So in theory, at the moment, I could do I'm 47 now. If I do one when I'm 54, that's like I could wait for 7 years and do another one, and then I'll still be in that age bracket. But I'm not going to do that. I think I feel like if I stop, I won't be able to get going again now. I was a basketball player, so I've got this dodgy knee that only goes forward. I can't go sideways. I can only go straight. So I'm just going to ride that into the ground, however long it lasts. So, I'm very lucky that I can still do what I do. So I'm like got the gratitude, and I'm not going to stop. So, yeah.
Yes, that's
I'm
amazing.
very lucky.
And any last advice for people that are looking at, doing full distance racing because you've done so many, and even perhaps like around nutrition, like getting through nutrition when you're doing such long distance events?
Yeah. First things first, got to have a good outfit. Yes, that's my advice. No, that's Lisa McDonald. She's the one with the outfits. I think you just got to break it down into baby steps, everything that you're doing. Like you can't just pick up a bike and go for miles, and you got to give yourself time as well. Like I listen to the Trivelo podcast, and they often get people come to them and they say, oh, I want to do an Ironman in 3 months. Like, oh, it's almost impossible. You've kind of got to give yourself at least a year. So it is a long-term goal, long-term commitment. So you just sort of have to get your head around that and be patient, because it's the long game. And as far as nutrition, like you definitely have to practice what you're going to do. Like I feel like even with all the advice that you've given me, on the day of the Ironman, I didn't do right on the bike somehow, because later on I got really sore tummy, and I think that was to do with me being unwell in the lead up and not practicing at the intensity that I was going to be going at. Not that I'm a high intensity gal, I'm a slow burn, but
diesel engine.
Across all those hours, you have to, have faith that your stomach is going to, be happy to have all that fuel going in. And I think I overdid it, and I also made a bit of a schoolboy error. Me with all my lists and everything, I've done this a million times. I missed a crucial. I didn't have any water in my front bottle on my bike, and everything else I had was like concentrated carb, so that I didn't have to stop and fill up any bottles. So by the time I was able to get just normal water, it was about 20 k's in. So I had to like drink my drinks that I had that were super concentrated carbs for hydration, and I think that I came undone with that, 5 or 6 or 7 hours later. So you've got to practice and make sure that what you're doing is going to work on the day.
Yeah, good tip. And Any last tips also, because I know that there's probably some mums listening that are like, how the hell do you do it, Leanne? You've got, 3 kids, you work, you do full distance training. Any advice for the women out there that are like, holy shit, lady, you're amazing?
Yeah. Well, if you can outsource anything and everything, that's really helpful. So I have got a friend who comes and does housework for me. She does 6 hours a week. So that in that amount of time, like that 6 hours would take me 10 hours because I would stop and do this and do that.
Get distracted.
So yeah, that you can't do it all. So having support is a huge thing. Like, you wouldn't be able to do it without extra help. I think also, like, I've got myself into this thing where I go to bed at 8 and I get up at 4, so I can get in my training before the kids get up. And now they're all at school, I also, like with my work, I am flexible. I try not to work like Monday morning and Tuesday morning. So that's sort of like my weekend. So I'll do my long sessions on those days if I can. But yeah, and you just have to let stuff go as well. Like, you've got to learn to say no. Don't worry if that thing's dirty for, 3 months. You've got this pile of stuff there. I tried to start up this Instagram page, the Organised Triathlete, because I was so unorganised, but I couldn't even organise myself to do that. So that fell by the wayside.
Did that for a while there?
I did. And yeah, I'd like to pick that up again, but yeah, that whole social media thing takes up so much time. I'm so inefficient at it. But again, that would be something that you'd have to put into your diary. Like, I'm going to do my posts now for the week, like spend 2 hours doing that. But
nah,
anyway,
it's not worth it.
It was too much.
Not worth it.
Too much. Something to outsource. But yeah.
Or just don't do.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, anything where you can, team up, try to get the kids out for a hike or something. That's strength training for your running, or yeah. But it is very difficult, and I have fought with myself a lot, and I've pulled out of events because it's been too much for the family. And yeah, you just gotta communicate and know where the line is, because it is a very selfish sport. And when you become a parent, I guess you think, oh my God, what did I do before? I had all this time, and now it feels like, how can I do this? But yeah, you've just got to lay it all out on the table and make sure that everyone's on board, because if you don't, you have blow-ups pretty quickly. So yeah, good luck.
Well, I think you're amazing. What you fit into, 24 hours is amazing. And the things that you achieve, like, you're very much a quiet little achiever. I'm not sure if you've picked that up by listening to Leanne, but she's very much a quiet achiever. And you wouldn't know from talking to her that she's done 18 full distance events either. Pretty much one every year, except for those kid break years, which is just amazing.
Yeah. It's been a great, so I did the old working holiday. I did 2 years in the UK, so I kind of did like 3 a year for 2 years, and I got to go to all these amazing places, and I met all these amazing people. So yeah, if you're single and you don't have a mortgage, I would recommend getting out of here quick. Yeah. I did Ironman. I think Ironman Lanzarote, if anyone knows that race. That's a shocker. And I was like only one of 50 women in that race. So it's really come on the sport. Like, I've been in it for a long time, and it's been great seeing the evolution of everything: fashion, technology, women, mothers. Yeah, it's such a good sport to be in. So, yeah, and I just would like to say I am below average at it. So 50% of us have to be below average. So I'm never up there. I'm never on the podium, but I'm there. So, yeah, it's been a great thing for me.
You're amazing, Leanne. You're amazing.
Yay!
Well, thank you so much for joining me to talk about your long and prosperous history with the sport of triathlon. I'm excited to see the next 30 years, to be honest. You've done so much without, training and nutrition really dialed in. You are only just getting started. The last 2 years you've been pretty sick and pretty injured. So imagine what you can achieve when the body's working properly and you've got your training right. And you've got all of your beautiful nutrition dialed into that as well. That's where the magic happens.
It does. That's definitely true. And I've kind of been looking for the next challenge. So trying to go a bit longer. So the nutrition is definitely going to be key for that.
Yes. And thank you for helping me tick over to 150 episodes too, Leanne. Woohoo!
My pleasure. I think I've listened to nearly all of those episodes. So
yes.
And I listen to them on 1.25. So that's probably why I talk so fast when I'm on here.
Thank you, legend.
Bye.